my video Suffering and Growth, Be Here Now 21, Be Here Now digits 21 at the end, says, "If I were you, I would seriously reconsider the notion that people are out to screw you over. If you believe that to the core, then you will inspire it in people who otherwise would act normal." Let's address this. I think that the point that they're making is that if I am bitter about having perceived some people who just are malicious, terrible people, say I've observed them and therefore I believe some people are like this, if I believe that to the core, that everyone's like that, I guess, then I'll push people to act like that who weren't going to otherwise. Alright, let's leave that a second. Now, I haven't said I believe everybody's like that. In fact, that's the reason I'm moving to New York City, because I believe that there are less people there that are like that than there are in this small town. And the tragedy is just that the reason I've promised to stay here in this small town is to educate the woman's children who has this malicious, malevolent streak. So I could stay and stick it out for the other kids and the other mothers and stuff, but I haven't promised them anything, and in fact they didn't give me their kids on the first day of school the way that this one mother did. So the question is not, are there malicious, evil, malevolent, absolute, terribly worthless, decrepit people? Yes, there are. The question is everybody like that? No, they're not. Now, if I go around acting like some people are malicious and evil and malevolent, is that going to inspire other people to react against me badly? Now, let's take a real-life case. Let's quit leaving it open. Let's take a real-life case. They say, when we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, you know, the Muslims hate us, and we shouldn't react with hatred, because that's just going to add fuel to a fire that's already burning. What we should do is we should step back and we should say, we respect your beliefs, will you please respect ours? That's what they say. Now, if that's true, if our resistance, if we resist evil and that adds to the fire, then we had better just give up right now, hadn't we? We'd better just surrender. No. Resisting evil does not add to the fire. In fact, my absolute staunch indignation at this woman pulling her kids out is, and the attitude actually of the other mothers about the benefits of their kids. One of them said that the signs of autism that were lessening and the ADHD, which had been gotten over, was the result of taking the kids to an energy balancer. Wow, okay. You know, all my hard work and all the months that they were in my school didn't do it. It was getting their energy balanced, and she said that the copper was flowing better between both sides of the brain of the autistic kid, and that's why his autism is, for all intents and purposes, dissipated. They took him back to the doctors, and they expect to have an update on an autistic child, and they're like, he's not really autistic anymore. What's going on? Oh, well, I took him to an energy balancer. Oh, is that all? Yeah, well, I had him in this academy out in Deseret, Utah, but that's surely not it. It was definitely the energy balancer. Well, I have women who support me by bringing their kids here, but they don't think that I'm doing anything good. They think the energy balancer. Fine, have their kids balanced their energy and put them back in public schools. Fine. And then I get a woman who doesn't support me and withdraws her kids because we disagree about about whether or not you should discipline at all. She believes discipline is a restrictive force that's bad. Freedom's good and restriction is bad, and any sort of restriction at all, especially if it hurts anybody's feelings, is bad. Look, there are some people that are just freaking worthless. They're just not good people. They're out there. And we have to act like that when we're approaching the terrorists. We have to act like that when we're approaching Hitler and the Japanese imperialist in World War II, and Soviet Russia, like Reagan called them the evil empire. That didn't inflame it. That just told them that we're not going to back down. We're not backing down. We think you're evil, we think you stink, and we think you're going to lose. Take that home with you. That does not inflame your enemies. It defeats them. It shows them that they're cowering little rat in the corner that they are, just because they've got some source of light behind them that cast a big shadow. It's not going to scare the good people out. Who was it? Edmund Burke, I think, who said, the only thing that is required for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And when you say that a person should go around with the attitude that everything's flowers and niceness, and we should ignore the fact that there are malicious, evil, malevolent people out there, and we should ignore the fact that some people are just freaking worthless, because it will inflame them, we should just ignore the fact that Hitler's doing all these terrible things. We don't want to inflame him. Just ignore what the Muslims have done, the Twin Towers and stuff. We don't want to inflame them any further. Why? We can't win? What kind of scumbag says these things?